Your legs fade first. Seniors must eat these 3 foods to keep them strong and healthy. Remember when getting up was just getting up? No thinking about it. No bracing yourself. No calculating whether you should even try. I'm Dr. Bob, and at 78, I've not only treated thousands of seniors struggling with weakening legs, I'm living this journey alongside you. And today, I'm going to share something the medical establishment isn't telling you about why your legs are betraying you far sooner than the rest of your body. Just last month, I received a handwritten letter from Martha, a 73-year-old viewer of our Happy Elderly channel. Her words broke my heart. Dr. Bob, yesterday I had to ask my 12-year-old grandson to help me up from the park bench. I saw the look in his eyes, a flicker of worry I never wanted him to feel. That night I cried myself to sleep wondering if I'll ever feel like me again. Her pain wasn't just physical. It was the quiet mourning of her independence slipping away, a feeling I know many of you watching right now understand all too well. That hollow ache in your chest when you realize you can't do something you've done effortlessly your entire life. I want you to know something that medical textbooks won't tell you. This isn't just about aging. It's not inevitable, and it's not your fault. If you're finding value in this kind of honest, straightforward information about aging that most doctors won't tell you, please take a moment to subscribe to our Happy Elderly channel and hit the notification bell. I've been practicing medicine for over 50 years, and at 78, I'm experiencing these challenges alongside you. Every week on Happy Elderly, I share research-backed strategies that have helped thousands of my patients maintain their independence. What I'm about to share today might surprise you and even make some doctors uncomfortable. Your legs are often the first part of your body to fade, not your skin, not your memory, your legs. And when your legs weaken, your entire world shrinks with them. That vacation to see the grandkids? Those garden paths you love to wander? The dance floor at your friend's anniversary? All can slip beyond your reach when your legs begin to weaken. But here's what gives me hope after 5 decades in medicine. I've discovered 3 specific foods that can literally transform your leg strength, even if you're already using a cane or walker. And the third one, which almost every doctor misses, could be the difference between staying in your own home or needing assisted living. Stay with me because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what these foods are, why they work when expensive medications often don't, and simple ways to incorporate them, even if you're not much of a cook or living on a fixed income like so many of us. The problem: why legs fade first. Let me tell you about my brother James. For 50 years, he never missed his Sunday golf game. Then one evening over dinner, his voice cracked as he confided something to me. "Bob," he whispered, "I had to pretend I was tired today, so the guys wouldn't notice I couldn't get out of the golf cart without using both hands to push myself up. I don't want to be that old man they have to wait for." I could see the shame in his eyes, the fear. Because it wasn't really about golf, it was about watching his identity slip away. Here's what's actually happening in your body, something they didn't teach us in medical school. After 50, we all lose about 1 to 2% of our muscle mass yearly. But your leg muscles, especially these large thigh muscles called quadriceps and these vital calf muscles, fade much faster than the rest of your body. Why? Because they're the workhorses. They've carried you through decades of life, climbed thousands of stairs, chased toddlers around the yard, danced at weddings and stood through graduations. And as we naturally become less active, sitting more and walking less, your efficient body doesn't waste energy maintaining muscle it thinks you're not using. The statistics are sobering. Once your legs begin to weaken, your risk of falling increases by 76%. And among us seniors, falls are the leading cause of injury-related deaths and nursing home admissions. You might recognize these early warning signs. That moment when you realize you're reaching for furniture as you move through your home, finding yourself avoiding kneeling because you're not sure you can get back up. Noticing you're taking the elevator instead of stairs you once climbed easily. That feeling of unsteadiness when walking across grass or uneven sidewalks. Planning your day around sitting opportunities when you go out. If any of these sound familiar, I want you to pay particularly close attention to what comes next, because I'm going to tell you something your doctor probably hasn't. This decline isn't some immutable law of aging. It's reversible. and it starts with what's on your plate. Transition to a warm, inviting kitchen setting. Dr. Bob stands near a counter with various protein-rich foods artfully displayed. Food number 1. Protein-rich foods. The first essential food might seem obvious, protein. But here's what shocked me after decades of practice. As we age, our bodies become dramatically less efficient at processing protein. Studies show that after 65, we need nearly 50% more protein than younger adults just to maintain the same muscle. This is Richard at 81. When he first came to me, he couldn't get up from his car without pushing on the door for support. His world was shrinking daily. When we analyzed his diet, I discovered something that changed everything. He was eating just 40 grams of protein daily, less than half of what his aging body required to maintain his leg muscles. 3 months after we restructured his meals to include protein at every eating opportunity, Richard called me, his voice trembling with emotion. "Bob," he said, "yesterday my great-granddaughter dropped her toy under the table. Without even thinking, I got down on the floor to get it, and I got back up without help. My daughter started crying when she saw it." Let me show you what worked for Richard and thousands of others. Lean meats like chicken and turkey. A piece this size, about a deck of cards, gives you about 25 grams of muscle-building protein. Fatty fish like salmon not only has protein but also vital inflammation-fighting compounds we'll talk about in a moment. Eggs, nature's perfect protein package. 2 eggs deliver 12 grams of complete protein with all the essential building blocks your legs crave. Greek yogurt, my personal favorite. Dr. Bob opens a container. 1 cup packs 20 grams of protein, making it perfect for breakfast or a quick snack when cooking feels overwhelming. And for my vegetarian friends, plant proteins like lentils, beans, and tofu. Shows a small bowl of cooked lentils. You'll need slightly larger portions to get the same protein amount, but they bring additional benefits from fiber. Now, here's something that changed everything for my patients. Timing matters tremendously. Most of us eat very little protein at breakfast, a bit more at lunch, and then a large amount at dinner. But research shows your body can only use about 25-30 grams of protein for muscle building at one time. So if you eat 60 grams of protein at dinner, much of it goes unused for your muscles. Instead, aim for 25-30 grams at each meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This approach gives your leg muscles a steady supply of building materials throughout the day. For those mornings when cooking feels impossible or your appetite isn't strong, try this simple protein smoothie. Greek yogurt, half a banana, a handful of berries, and a spoonful of nut butter. It takes 60 seconds to make but gives your legs hours of nutritional support. I've included several easy high-protein recipes in the description below that require minimal preparation, perfect for days when cooking feels overwhelming. If what I'm sharing resonates with you, please take a moment to give this video a thumbs up and comment yes below if you've noticed any changes in your leg strength over the years. Your comments not only help our happy elderly community find this important information, but also let me know which topics you find most valuable. It's through sharing our experiences that we create a true community of wisdom. Now let's move to the second critical food group for maintaining strong, stable legs as you age. Food number 2, omega-3 rich foods. The second food group changed my own life profoundly. 12 years ago, I started experiencing knee pain that made me dread my morning walks. As a doctor, I'd prescribed countless medications for joint pain, but I wanted to avoid the side effects I'd seen in my patients. That's when I discovered the extraordinary power of omega-3 fatty acids. Within 3 months of deliberately including them daily, I could once again walk without that grinding pain in my knees. Today, at 78, I still enjoy my morning walks pain-free. Omega-3s work like internal WD-40 for your joints. They reduce inflammation, increase blood flow to muscles during movement, and, most remarkably, activate the genetic pathways that signal your body to build muscle protein. The best sources of omega-3 fatty acids include fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, and herring. Just 2 servings weekly provide the baseline omega-3s most seniors need. Wild-caught is preferable when available, but frozen options work perfectly well, too. Walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds. A small handful of walnuts daily, or a tablespoon of ground flaxseed added to your morning oatmeal provides plant-based omega-3s. High-quality olive oil. Use it liberally in cooking and as a dressing for vegetables and salads. Let me tell you about Ellen. For 40 years, gardening had been her passion and therapy. But at 77, knee pain had stolen this joy from her life. "It's not just my garden that's withering," she told me, her voice breaking. "It's me." I guided Ellen to include fatty fish 3 times weekly and add ground flaxseed to her morning routine. 6 weeks later, she called me from her garden. I could hear the birds chirping in the background as she excitedly told me she'd just spent 2 hours with her roses without having to stop once for pain. "It wasn't an overnight miracle," she said, "but gradually I realized I was thinking about my flowers again, instead of my knees." A simple dinner of baked salmon with olive oil and lemon, alongside steamed vegetables, addresses both protein and omega-3 needs in one delicious meal. But there's a third critical nutrient group most doctors never mention, the one that supports everything else we've discussed. Food number 3, calcium and vitamin D-rich foods. The third essential food group is actually a partnership of nutrients, calcium and vitamin D. These work together as the foundation that supports everything else we've discussed. You can have adequate protein and omega-3s, but without sufficient calcium and vitamin D, your legs will still be vulnerable. Here's why. While muscle strength is critical, that strength must be supported by strong bones. As we age, our bones can lose density and become more fragile, a condition called osteoporosis that affects nearly 54 million Americans over 50. Your leg bones, particularly your femur, thigh bone, and tibia, shin bone, bear the most weight in your body. When these bones weaken, even strong muscles cannot compensate fully for the structural instability. This hits very close to home for me. My wife Margaret suffered a hip fracture at 72 despite being physically active. We later discovered her vitamin D levels were severely deficient, compromising her calcium absorption for years. Her recovery was long and difficult, and she never regained her previous mobility level. This experience changed how I practice medicine and how I approach my own nutrition. The calcium-vitamin D connection works like this. Calcium provides the structural material for your bones, but vitamin D is essential for your body to absorb and use that calcium effectively. Without adequate vitamin D, you could consume calcium all day and still become deficient. The best food sources for this vital partnership include dairy products like milk, yogurt, and cheese provide readily absorbable calcium. Just 1 cup of yogurt delivers about 30% of your daily calcium needs. Choose full-fat versions when possible, as they also contain fat-soluble vitamins that aid absorption. Leafy greens such as kale, collard greens, and bok choy are excellent non-dairy calcium sources. A cup of cooked collard greens provides about 25% of your daily calcium needs. Sardines and canned salmon with bones are calcium powerhouses, providing both calcium and vitamin D. The soft, edible bones in these fish contain highly bioavailable calcium. Eggs, particularly the yolks, are one of the few natural food sources of vitamin D. 2 eggs provide about 10% of your daily vitamin D requirements. Fortified foods like certain orange juices, plant milks, and breakfast cereals can help boost both calcium and vitamin D intake. Here's what most people miss. Sun exposure has traditionally been our primary source of vitamin D, but as we age, our skin becomes less efficient at converting sunlight to vitamin D. Additionally, concerns about skin cancer have led many seniors to avoid sun exposure altogether. This creates a perfect storm for vitamin D deficiency. I strongly recommend having your vitamin D levels tested annually. The optimal range for seniors is between 40 to 60 ml, yet I find that nearly 80% of my patients over 70 fall below 30 ml, clinically deficient. For those diagnosed with vitamin D deficiency, food alone may not be sufficient. In these cases, a supplement recommended by your healthcare provider can be necessary while you work on improving your dietary sources. Let me show you what an ideal meal looks like when combining all 3 of these essential nutrient groups. This plate contains baked salmon, providing both protein and omega-3s, steamed kale with a drizzle of olive oil, providing calcium and additional omega-3s, and a small serving of sweet potato. I've added a glass of milk on the side for additional calcium and vitamin D. This simple meal delivers everything your legs need to maintain strength and stability. Implementation and practical tips. I understand that knowing what to eat is only half the battle. Incorporating these foods consistently into your daily life is where many struggle. Let me share some practical strategies that have worked for my patients. First, think of adding rather than eliminating. Instead of focusing on what you should stop eating, concentrate on adding these 3 food groups to your existing meals. For example, add a hard-boiled egg to your morning toast, sprinkle walnuts on your usual salad, or add a small serving of Greek yogurt as an afternoon snack. Second, use the power of substitution. Rather than completely changing your diet, make strategic substitutions. Swap regular yogurt for Greek yogurt to double your protein intake, replace butter with olive oil when cooking, or choose salmon instead of other fish options when dining out. Third, prepare in batches when energy allows. On days when you feel strongest, prepare protein-rich foods that can be refrigerated and easily reheated, like a vegetable frittata that combines eggs, leafy greens, and a sprinkle of cheese, covering all 3 nutrient groups in one dish. For those on fixed incomes, here are some budget-friendly options. Canned salmon and sardines are much more affordable than fresh fish, but offer the same nutritional benefits. Eggs are one of the most economical, complete protein sources available. Dried beans and lentils, when prepared properly, provide excellent plant-based protein at a fraction of the cost of meat. Frozen vegetables, particularly leafy greens, are often more affordable than fresh and retain most of their nutritional value. I've found that many of my patients benefit from creating a daily nutrition insurance smoothie. This simple blend contains a scoop of plain Greek yogurt, a tablespoon of ground flaxseed, a handful of leafy greens, half a banana for flavor, and milk or fortified plant milk as the liquid. This one drink covers all 3 essential nutrient groups and can be particularly valuable on days when appetite is low or cooking feels too demanding. Success stories and motivation. Let me share a few stories that demonstrate it's never too late to strengthen your legs through proper nutrition. Dorothy came to me at 84, having already lost significant mobility. She needed a walker for even short distances and had given up on her beloved bird watching because the uneven terrain of nature trails had become too challenging. We implemented the nutrition plan I've outlined today, combined with very gentle seated exercises. Within 6 months, Dorothy had graduated from her walker to a cane for most activities. By month 9, she was able to walk unassisted around her neighborhood and had resumed shorter bird-watching excursions with friends. Then there's William, a 79-year-old former teacher who had become increasingly isolated as his leg strength diminished. Stairs had become nearly impossible, limiting his access to friends' homes and many community activities. After 4 months of nutritional intervention focusing on these 3 food groups, William reported being able to climb a full flight of stairs without stopping, something he hadn't done in years. "I feel like I've been given back a piece of my life," he told me during a follow-up visit. Perhaps most inspiring is Elaine's story. At 92, Elaine had been told by several healthcare providers that significant improvement in her mobility was unlikely due to her advanced age. Yet after consistently implementing these nutritional strategies for just 3 months, she progressed from needing assistance to stand from her chair to being able to rise independently. This small change had an enormous impact on her sense of dignity and independence. These aren't rare exceptions or miracles. These improvements represent the body's remarkable ability to respond to proper nutrition at any age. The human body possesses regenerative capacity far beyond what most medical professionals acknowledge. I've seen it consistently throughout my 5 decades of practice. As we come to the end of our time together today, let me summarize the 3 essential food groups that can help preserve and restore your leg strength. Protein-rich foods. Aim for 25 to 30 grams at each meal, focusing on quality sources like lean meats, fatty fish, eggs, dairy, and plant proteins. Omega-3 rich foods. Incorporate fatty fish twice weekly, along with walnuts, flax seeds, chia seeds, and olive oil to reduce inflammation and support joint health. Calcium and vitamin D rich foods. Dairy products, leafy greens, canned fish with bones, eggs, and spend some time in morning sunlight daily for natural vitamin D production. Remember Martha from the beginning of our conversation? After 6 months of following these nutritional principles, she returned to her garden and now walks with her neighborhood group 3 times weekly. Her grandson still visits often, but now they walk together rather than him helping her rise from chairs. I want you to know that the slow fade of leg strength you may be experiencing is not inevitable. It's not something you must accept as just getting old. With the right nutritional approach, you can maintain and often regain the leg strength that keeps you independent and engaged in the life you love. If you found this information valuable, please support our happy elderly community by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Your engagement helps these evidence-based approaches reach more people who might be unnecessarily losing their mobility and independence. Click the notification bell so you don't miss next week's video, where I'll share the gentle, seated exercises that complement these nutritional strategies for maximum leg strength. I read every comment on our Happy Elderly channel, so please share your experiences or questions below. Remember, we're in this journey together, and your story might be exactly what inspires someone else to take that first step towards stronger legs and a more mobile future. Thank you for your time and attention today. This is Dr. Bob from Happy